Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover Warren20 here, and happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And today I'm here with a brand new movie review for a sequel film this time. And it's going to be for a sequel to a movie I reviewed Thursday, which we all know is The Matrix. Today I'm reviewing this first sequel to The Matrix, The Matrix Reloaded. Yeah, because like I said, I'm going to be reviewing all three of the Matrix films since the fourth one is going to be coming out to theaters and HBO Max this December. So I'd review all three of the movies in honor of that. So basically, after The Matrix first film proved to be such a huge box office success around April 1999, Warner Brothers saw, and of course, before I say that they announced the sequel, they saw it was immediately becoming popular in pop culture among thousands of movies parodying it. So Warner Bros. Decided to make it a franchise and give it two sequels, back to back. But not just any back to back, they decided to go the Back to the Future and Kill Bill route with their two sequels and release them 6 months apart. This actually kind of created even further hype among fans, saying that 2003 was going to be a year of The Matrix. Yes, when the teaser first came out and was shown in front of Attack of the Clones, fans who went to see Attack of the Clones that year were hyped. And once May 15th, 2003 came, Matrix Reloaded was finally released in theaters, and now it wasn't terrible. I mean, some people still thought it was still a fun movie, a fun action-filled movie. It was still a fine sequel. But compared to the first, it was kind of a letdown in comparison. Yeah. But let's just say what the movie's about. Well, 6 months after the events of The Matrix, freedom fighters Neo, Trinity, and Morpheus continue to lead the revolt against the Machine Army, unleashing their arsenal of extraordinary skills and weaponry against the systematic forces of repression and exploitation. In their quest to save the human race from extinction, they gain greater insight into the construct of the Matrix and Neo's pivotal role in the fate of mankind. So the film's about. And here's why the movie is still a fine movie, but still somewhat of a disappointing sequel. Well, it is still a pretty good follow-up to the first film of The Matrix. There's still great acting, especially for Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne. The story sequels and concepts were great, and of course, this movie I like that we do get to see more of Zion, which was a little nice touch. It's this kind of underground area, in a way, and the freeway fight scene is very fun and it's very awesome. Definitely one of the best action movie scenes of all time, especially in the semi-truck between Morpheus and Agent Johnson. The rest of the fighting scenes are also still very neat to watch, especially in the very third act, such as fighting in Keymaster's mansion. And the soundtrack is still great, just like the first film. And the Merle Rovan again is an awesome villain that he's trying to keep the Keymaker in his control by getting rid of Neo, and the scene where Neo saves near the end of the movie, where Neo saves Trinity from her death after getting shot by Agent Smith clones, was pretty good. Now, there are quite a few bad qualities, because since this is kind of a just average sequel. The special effects do not age well, even while the first film's special effects definitely aged well. The acting can still be a bit awkward at times, and of course, there is the infamous rave scene at the very beginning of the movie. Basically, Zion has this celebration around the beginning of the movie, and they dance. They have this orgy-style dance for like 5 minutes, and that was really not a necessary scene. that scene would have been better without. This movie would have been better without that scene. It was just cringeworthy, just filler, just there to fill in the runtime. Doesn't really symbolize much, really. And there's there's still some little to no good CGI, like the scene during the parking fight where Neo, like the park fight where Neo discovers that he set Agent Smith free, but they never explained how he set him free when he destroyed him in the first movie, because he like destroyed him in the. He's a great villain, all, but they destroyed him in the first movie, and but then somehow it's like, I remember you set me free, and so, but I'm just glad they brought him back, and that's also what's also cool is he now has these clones of himself, which is also a very nice touch, and but during the fight with all the clones, when Neo uses the pipe to strike the Agent Smith clones, it definitely doesn't age well, and they even add. And there's even quite a few corny effects in it, like with the bowling pins, but like when he knocks this one Agent Smith there, he knocks on several in this, and it makes this bowling pin sound, so yeah. And the film itself can be a bit worthy at times, like the film was a bit of a step down from the original, but not as much as Matrix Revolutions, but I still like Matrix Revolutions, and I still like this movie, guys, so yeah. Which was released, which, by the way, guys, was released 6 months after this movie. But, and for those of you that obviously also do know, this movie before originally held the record of the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. Before this movie came out, Terminator 2 Judgment Day held that record, but then, once this movie came out, it made $91 million on its opening weekend, $134 million in its first 5 days, $281 million domestically, and $742 million worldwide, making it, at the time, the highest grossing R-rated movie. Well, then again, that was mostly just because of the hype, because the first film's hype, this movie got its hype from. If it were released today, it probably would make way less, considering all the sequels that, released in the 2010s. I would not say today. Ugh. If it were made today, it'd be delayed. But if it were released around the 2010s, it wouldn't really do well. It would still make a profit, but it wouldn't make as much as the first one, but oh well. Back then, every single sequel nearly made $1 billion in the 2000s. But, all in all, do I hate this movie? No. I don't hate any of the sequels, guys. I like both the sequels for what they are, but are they as good as the first one? Well, no. Heck no. The first one is still the masterpiece. It can never be topped. Anyone that was expecting these movies to top the first one, were really not thinking right. But all in all, it is a letdown from the first film, but it's still a worthy sequel nonetheless, and here's how I'd rank it.
I am going to give The Matrix Reloaded an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, while not as good as the first one, still a decent movie. Still a decent action movie. But, all in all, guys, now that the first two are out of the way, next one is going to be for, the weakest in the series, and that's Matrix Revolutions. But, all in all, that'll be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe to Movie Lover 120.